Yes, Doc, loud and clear.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so recording started. First of all, thank you very much semua yang meluangkan masa dan sudi hadir lah. Alright, saya mewakili pihak SKM, Future Ready Educator, mengucapkan selamat datanglah kepada semua. Hari ini kita ada Dr. Hasbullah bersama kita untuk sedikit sharing berkenaan kaedah-kaedah yang terbaik untuk untuk kita buat some video yang lebih efektif untuk kita menjalankan kelas online lah. Alright, so saya ingat saya tak perlu memperkenalkan siapa Dr. Hasbullah, saya ingat semua orang kenal. So I think without further ado, saya jemput Dr. Hasbullah untuk meneruskan sharing beliau. Dipersilakan Dr. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih, Dr. Kamarul. So, first of all, Assalamualaikum and good morning to everybody. And I would like to thank the SKM Free Committee for inviting me to share a little bit of my experience during this online teaching and learning period that we have to go through during this pandemic. And I have actually shared similar slides with the event with UTM Lead this Sunday. So if you have been there, this is basically just a similar slide. When Dr. Kamaro approached me for a sharing session, I wasn't quite sure what to share because I've understand that all of us have been doing our best in order to deliver our own subject. So take this as just a sharing session from my own personal experience. And I'm not here to tell you how to do your job. Okay, I only teach fluid mechanics. I don't teach any other subject. So like the Malay saying, kita buang yang keruh, ambil yang jernih. So as an introduction, I would like to show you a few client testimonial. This is coming from our own students. So Yado says that the videos prepared by Doctor are good and concise. Difficult concept were explained in a very simple manner. In short word, fluid course looks easier with Dr. Hasbullah. So the point is concise, right? Our video should be about 15 minutes, okay, less than 20 minutes. If it's more, then students are going to struggle because their attention span nowadays is not very long. So we have to find a good balance between delivering our long subject and also the attention span of the student. Nizar says very concise and elaborate videos and really helps when studying for tests. So these are another two keywords, concise and studying for tests. Videos will make it easier for them to study for tests. I will explain to you about this later. Weakness says, I started understanding this subject and liking it because of your videos only. Used to have zero knowledge on this. Okay, from my few years of experience teaching fluid mechanics, very little student actually likes this subject. To be honest, I myself did not like this subject when I took it during my undergrads. I did undergrad in UTM as well. I liked thermodynamics better than fluid mechanics. It is so difficult. So having your student says that he likes it because of your lecture videos, this means a lot. All right. And then Anupam says, sir, for a very long time, I've been searching for excellent lectures and fluid mechanics. Your video satisfied me a lot, but I need a video about energy correction factor asset. I hope you do that. Okay, so Anupam not only likes the video, he enjoys it, and now he wants more. And it's always a good feeling when students ask for more. It's a good problem to have as an educator. Now, Dr. Kamarul, just to confirm, you can see my slides moving, right?
Correct, Doctor. Please carry on.
Thank you. Now, I believe we already know this. Engineering is not easy, and studying it is difficult, and delivering it is actually even more difficult. So what makes it different than other disciplines in UTM? First of all, it involves a lot of equations. Some equations are long, some equations are very short, all of which we need to show it to the student. We need to write it and show it to them that this equation can also be derived instead of just using it. Engineering also involves a lot of calculations, especially subjects related with math. Engineering math, for example. You just have one simple question and the solution could be pages, 5 pages, 10 pages. So a lot of calculations. And also a lot of drawings to demonstrate concept. Now, I'm not talking about design subject. Design subject is very obvious. You draw a lot. But even simple subject, a very fundamental subject such as static and then dynamics. For fluid mechanics, we have to draw a velocity triangle, for example. We have to draw the boundary layer. So these are drawings that we need to draw for our student to see. And the equations, they need to be derived at least once. For once in the semester, they need to know where the equation comes from. And this is regardless whether or not we test the equation. And this is something I believe they need to understand, that this equation doesn't come magically from some genius in the past and that we just have to follow it. No, this equation comes from a very well-defined theory, and that theory can be converted into equation that we can use. Then they need to understand that. And also, like I mentioned before, we have to we expect them to show the solution during their exam. So we ourselves, when we deliver tutorial, we have to provide the solution as well. We have to tell them what to write first, what is the correct step. So if the steps are reversed during their exam, they can trace it back to our teachings. Okay, so this is something that I believe we all remember. Is almost 1.5 years ago. It was March. The semester was in full swing, but the cases were up, right? And when the Prime Minister announced this, I was feeling relieved and also quite enjoying the first 2 weeks of working from home. But then it quickly becomes panic because I wasn't quite sure what's going to happen to the student. Do they have to repeat the subject? Is UTM going to close completely? If we have to deliver the subject, how do we deliver it? Do we deliver it through live session or do we deliver it through videos? What are the pros and cons of this? We even fight with ourselves about whether to teach synchronous or asynchronous teaching. So this becomes even the first time I've heard about synchronous and asynchronous teaching. And I weigh in the pros and cons about these two methods, whether to do live or to record videos. Of course, UTM Lead provided us with some guidelines about how to conduct our courses, but it quickly becomes clear to me that we ourselves will be responsible for delivering our own subject. And for this, nobody can help us. So we have to find our own way. And after I try to justify whether or not to go with asynchronous or synchronous, in the end, I decided to go for asynchronous teaching and learning. There are a few drawbacks which I will explain later. So because of that, I've created a YouTube channel. This is called Dr. Hasbullah Lectures. I know that I'm going to need to prepare videos, and if I upload the videos directly to e-learning, for example, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. So what I do is I created these videos and then I get the link from these videos and paste it in our e-learning. So that works beautifully. When students click on the link, they will be directed to the video on YouTube. And this service is very reliable and most importantly is free. And I've also created this Facebook group. This is just a way for me to get in touch with my present and past student. I apologize about the photo. Apparently the student likes it. And when we teach subjects, student comes and go, right? Maybe 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And sometimes we do wonder what's happening to them. Okay, and I believe for long-term connection, a Facebook group works quite well. I believe that WhatsApp group is quite intrusive. There's a lot of groups that we are all a part of, and I believe our students don't like to be disturbed once every now and then. So if we have this group, and you can just simply, if you have some further information, some interesting development in the field, for example, myself in fluid mechanics, you can paste there so that they get notified. And if they want, if you want to ask how they are doing, just post there, how are you guys doing? Some of us will reply. So this is like a good platform to stay in touch with your student. And of course, the list is going to grow and grow. I've only been doing this for the last 3 semesters. And I wish that this will continue on throughout my career here in UTM. Okay, so what will you explore in this presentation? First is I'm going to tell you why videos are so powerful. This is my attempt to actually convince you to make your own video this semester. At least try 1 or 2 videos. I will try my best to convince you. And if you're not convinced, that's no problem. I'm just sharing what has worked for myself. And then tools you need to create engaging video contents. When I mention tools, it's not just microphones, lighting and stuff, but also tools in our mindset. So I'm going to show to you also how to speak in front of camera. It's a little bit different speaking in front of a camera and teaching face-to-face. And then just some food for thoughts is that, can we automate teaching engineering subjects? We've created these videos, the video stays there online. Is there any need for us to even teach anymore? Okay. Now, why videos are so powerful? First of all, these videos are accessible and available anywhere and everywhere. Now, when I say videos, I'm talking about videos on YouTube, right? On other platforms, I don't find it to be as reliable as on YouTube. It is accessible, it is available anywhere and everywhere. And the good thing is the internet speed or data limit is almost irrelevant. Now, this is the main point that I consider when I decide to go for asynchronous teaching and learning. For live teaching and learning, you're going to have a very stable internet connection, both from your side and from the student side. And we do not know the condition of these students. And we don't even know whether on the day, our connection is even going to be stable. So if we record a video and upload it on YouTube, and let's say the student has a lot of siblings and they have to share the internet data and it's limited, what they can do is they can actually watch our videos at low resolution. All right, they can still see it, but most importantly, if we have good audio, they can still hear it and they can still follow our class. So internet speed and data limit is not a concern anymore when you publish it on YouTube. Of course, they will still need internet, but they don't need fast internet. They don't need Unify. Next is that the student can perform their revision at any time. Not only that, they can learn at any time. When they want to watch and rewatch it 10 times, 20 times, it does not matter. Anytime they can do it. And this is for us. We can avoid repetition close to exam or test. It is very often that during face-to-face teaching and learning, close to the exam, perhaps 2 days, 1 day before the exam, student will come to our room and ask about things that are likely that we already explained during the class. Okay, so when you have videos, you can just ask them to rewatch it again and again. And this is one of the major advantages as well. The content that we put up there is available forever. Okay, this is available for our student and next student whenever they need it. If they are doing LI, if they need something, if they doubt something about the Excel sheet that they have been using in the companies and they want to go back to the theory to verify that one coefficient, right, it's going to be difficult for them to find it in the book. If they remember us, they can just see our video. Now, that was about our future and our ex-student. How about our future student, right? The content that we created in the video is actually reusable. We can use it again and again. We made it once, of course, a lot of effort at first, but it is going to be reusable, even with the curriculum update. Usually when we do curriculum update, we don't overhaul the entire subject. Subject, most likely the name will stay the same. We shift around a few topics, we add some and we remove some. It's very unlikely that we're gonna demolish the whole subject and replace it with another subject. That is very unlikely. So the content that you've created is reusable. If something is missing, you just add it. If it's more than you need, just remove it. Okay? So we can teach once for all present and future students. I'm not saying that the videos will be completely replacing the need for you to be there. I'm saying that our videos can be a very good supplementary to what we teach during face-to-face later on. And the content in the YouTube channel becomes live teaching portfolio for educators. I believe this is something that the TES system is trying to achieve. They want to compile and see what the subject that we have learned. Now, with videos online, you don't only see the subject that we teach, you can see it for yourself. You can even be in the class if you want. Okay? And this is useful whenever you need to showcase what you teach, for example, to get some kind of grants about education, or also if there are third party, if there's company approaching you to create a course for them, for example, then they want to see what you have taught before. Simply send them the link to your teaching videos. And of course, your content is public. It can be used by others. I mean, can be used by other students. It doesn't matter whether it's from different section. We have a lot of students coming next semester, so more than 10 section has been allocated for fluid mechanics. And I don't mind if we are sharing the same videos, everybody can use it. I've also received text messages, WhatsApp from my colleagues in UTEM, UTHM, UITM, asking if they can use my videos in their e-learning. I told them if it is similar with what you teach, I don't see any problem with it. And I've also getting comments from students from other countries as well that can understand my English okay, and they also use that content. So you can actually expand your reach beyond even your own classroom. And also the content, you don't have to worry about it because it's recorded. It is well within your right to edit bad things out. Sometimes we talk, we don't really realize what we talk. We don't listen to ourselves. When teaching face-to-face in class, we can actually, the actual amount of time that we need to deliver the subject, maybe half an hour. And the other 20 minutes, we talk about things, we motivate the students, and we don't really hear ourselves. When we record a video, then we know whether we are good or we are bad, right? And for me, the first few videos, I hated seeing myself recording because I say most of the things that I say is useless to the student, right? So this can be edited out. And also the knowledge lives forever. YouTube is owned by Google, and I believe Google is here to stay for hundreds of years to come. Even UTM email pun is based on Google. So if Google is gone, so many companies are depending on Google, so it cannot fail, right? So the knowledge lives forever, and this will go beyond our lifetime. And as a Muslim, we believe there are three things that will be carried even after we are gone. Like that is the sedekah jariyah, and then the useful knowledge, and also the dua from our kids. Okay, so useful knowledge is one of them. Now, it's not all sweet and good with videos, online teaching and learning. There are some disadvantages, of course. First is the lack of live feedback from students. Right? So between the lack of live feedback and the ability of them to join class because of their poor internet connection, I would rather not having live feedback than having them struggle listening to what I was saying. So that's why I opted for asynchronous teaching and learning. And live feedback, we could actually address this by doing supplementary live lecture. Most likely, the student asks about things that they do not understand yet. When you make them watch the entire video and you give a few tutorial, you explain how to do it in another videos, most likely the question is gone. They already understood it, right? So when I conducted supplementary live lecture, there's very little questions that need to be answered. If the question is substantial enough, then we create another video and we put it up there so everybody can see. Next is our videos is open to criticism. Of course, it is public. Now, I was a student also. Some of the lecturers I'm not very happy about, but I wouldn't complain to his face directly. Okay, and I believe our students is the same. They won't complain to us directly, to our face. But if we put a video online, it is open to criticism. The whole world can see. Now, the complaint might not even come from our students. It might come from someone else. So this creates fears in our head that tells us, don't you even try to record. And for me, good editing can eliminate this fear. We edit out the parts that we don't want. If we are not happy with it, we record it again. So not a problem. And then we also worry about copyright strike. For example, if we use material directly from the source, ebook, for example, we don't even know if the author agree with it. And if somebody reported it, we're going to have to remove the video. So this makes for additional effort. We may have to write again. We may have to create our own slides. We have to draw it ourselves so the video can be used publicly. And also, this is a major turnoff, which is the massive initial effort. Now, we've discussed that this video can actually be used again and again. So it makes the initial effort worthwhile, basically. I understand this coming into the asynchronous teaching and learning. I know that it's going to take a lot of effort. So why don't I make it very nice so that the student can understand and that I can use it again and again? So we make it worthwhile. And this is just a reference. For my videos, usually is rarely over 20 minutes, perhaps 25 maximum. I try to keep it under 15 minutes. So for that, at best, it took me about 5 hours to prepare. And that includes studying for the topic, recording, editing. Editing took most of the time, and then publishing. Sometimes I recorded for like 2 to 3 hours, and later I found out that I forgot to turn on the mic. Okay, so that was very demotivating. So I just had to re-record it again tomorrow. So those are some of the challenges that you will face if you decided to go for videos. Okay, next is the tools you need to create engaging content. Now, our content has to be engaging. Imagine when we teach in our class, right? Some of the students simply sleeps. Imagine when we teach using videos. We are not even there. They are in their bed watching our videos. So a little bit of effort to make it engaging will not hurt. Now, between video and audio, which is more important? Audio is half the experience. Some say it is more, and I tend to agree. I think audio might contribute about 70% of the video. That is because people can actually stand bad videos as long as the audio is good. And also, more importantly, is that when the students have problem with internet connectivity, they have to play it at low resolution, 144p. At 144p, you basically cannot see the videos, right? And what they have is our audio cue. With good audio, they can still follow the class. That is why our voices, it has to be jelas, it has to be clear, and it has to be ceria. It has to be, we have to be happy when we teach the subject. At least we pretend to be happy. Like when you teach engineering maths, for example, how are you going to be happy teaching engineering maths? It's not possible. But the voice has to be cheerier. Okay, so for audio, to get good audio, always use external microphone. Even if you have dedicated camera for recording, you're gonna have to purchase additional microphone because the internal microphone is not as good as external microphone. For this, you can get lavalier mic. Lavalier mic is, it looks something like this, right? This is something that you tuck in under your shirt. You put it here, so the mic is very close to your mouth and can pick up what you say. It's about 30 ringgit on Shopee. Okay. However, while using lavalier mic, I find that every time I have to record a video, I have to set it up. And then in the middle of recording, I need to go to the restroom, for example. I have to take it out and then install it back again, and it becomes a hassle. When something becomes a hassle, it creates a mental barrier, and I don't even want to record that day. So what I did was I opted for shotgun mic. A shotgun mic is something that is fixed to the camera or to your phone. Okay, so it looks something like this, and it picks up the sound directly in front of it. So the surrounding sound, if you have aircon at the back, if you have fence noise, you have dogs, you have babies crying, it won't pick it up. It just picks up what's in front of it. Okay, now what are the importance of showing your face, right? Showing face is actually very important. It makes for more engaging content. Now, I often buy courses from sites such as Udemy and Coursera, and one of the key factors that I decided to choose whether or not to buy it is whether or not I can see the instructor face. Because I think the instructor face will show his personality. And so that means our student might expect the same thing with us, right? It shows your personality, and the subject is unique only to you. Some other people might also creating videos about fluid mechanics. I also created video about fluid mechanics, but why do they listen to me, right? Perhaps they like my personality. If they don't like, they are welcome to use other sources. It's not a problem. And also it's putting face to the voice. And perhaps most importantly is the facial expression of the instructor. Sometimes something that we cannot replicate in videos compared to face is our body language, right? Students can tell if we are nervous. They can actually tell if we are struggling with that topic. They can tell if we think the topic is easy. Okay, so if we are struggling with that topic, students usually pay more attention. They know it is difficult bit. If we are quite relaxed, then students are relaxed as well. So facial expression is very important. And also, if we are afraid of recording our face, if we are afraid of showing our face, we can actually filter anything that's bad. For example, the filler, like or a long pause while we gather our thoughts. These can all be edited out. And these are some of the few tips of speaking in front of a camera, because later you will see it's a bit different than delivering face-to-face. First of all, try to limit your videos for only 15 minutes. I find it to be a good balance between attention span of the student and also the long topics that we have to deliver. The attention span of human at this moment is about only 7 seconds, right? Imagine if we scroll something like Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, right? We scroll it. The first 3 seconds, the video doesn't grab our attention. We just scroll it. Right? There are many other videos to watch, right? But you can't make 3-second videos for teaching videos. So 15 minutes I find to be a good balance. Next is something happens between you recording and students watching, right? What happens is that the energy level drops a lot, okay? You might be talking here, and then the video goes into the camera, and then you process it. Somehow, when the student watch you, your energy level is actually here, right? So what you do is that you have to compensate. Otherwise, we risk looking weak. What I mean by compensate is that we be a little bit over lah, kita over sikit, kan? If we, for example, when I'm presenting to you now, I'm speaking at an elevated voice, elevated level of voice. Now, I don't speak with my friend like this. I don't speak with my wife like this. I would look like an idiot, right? But for you watching, it feels normal. That's because the energy level has dropped between me talking and you listening. And this happens for all the videos. And we actually notice this when we look at movies, right? If we've been on the movie set and we see these actors acting, we would think that they are overdoing it a little bit. However, when we watch it in TV, it looks normal. Also, if we hear ads on radio, for example, nobody talks like that, right? However, when we hear it, it feels normal. So we have to compensate a little bit, increase our energy level a little bit, be a little bit hyper. So when the student look at you through their own screen, it becomes normal. If we speak in the usual way that we speak, when they see it, they see us as a little bit weaker than usual. Okay, now about the equipment, there are a lot of equipment out there depending on your budget, whether you are using your smartphone or you are using your dedicated camera. But I believe that the best camera is the camera that you have with you all the time, that is the smartphone. However, the more important equipment is the lighting. Because without the lighting, they can't see you. And you cannot engage them if they cannot see you. For example, I have my lights over here. If I turn it off, you can barely see me. I can see me fine in my screen, but it's not as nice as when you have the lights on. And for this, I would suggest you could use something like this, a ring light. You can get it for under 30 ringgit in Shopee. It makes a lot of difference in the quality of your video. Okay, and the third component, so we've discussed audio. Audio has to be good, use external microphone. And we discussed videos, the importance of showing your face and how to speak in front of camera. And the third element, and this is particularly important for engineering subjects, which is the digital whiteboard. We need some surface that to write on. And the importance of it for core engineering subjects, because we have to draw something, we have to calculate something, we need to derive something. And for this, we can't get away with normal slides. We have to write something. Okay, and students need to know that if they want, they can actually derive the equation. This is regardless of whether we test the equation or not. For example, in fluid mechanics, we have continuity equation, Navier-Stokes equation. Sometimes we test, sometimes we don't. However, each semester, I will still show them how to derive it. At least once, so they know that it is not magic. And the digital whiteboard can also make your content more engaging. When you talk about something, they can see your face. They can also see what you write at that moment in time. It will be more engaging, and you can mix and match with the slides. And for this, the tools you need, there are many tools out there for digital whiteboard. First is the combination of iPad and Apple Pencil. This is what I personally use. And this is quite an expensive option. The only reason why I use this is because when the PKP kicks in, I already own an iPad. And then because of the moratorium, I was able to buy the Apple Pencil. Now, make no mistake, teaching online will require you to spend some money. It won't be free. You need to spend, okay? But how much you spend is entirely up to you. For this, for Apple Pencil, for something that is called a pencil, it costs about 600 ringgit. Now, unbelievable. And I had to buy it twice because my first Apple Pencil broke and there's nobody to repair it because of PKP. So you need to spend money. You can also use writing pad, connect it to PC, and then record your screen using something like OBS Studio. OBS Studio is so powerful, I don't even understand why that software is free. It should be a paid software. So take advantage of it. So what you have now is a good audio, a video of yourself talking, and the screen recording of what you write. And the next thing you do is you edit it out and cut out the bad parts and combine it together for the student. Now, even though I call it digital whiteboard, it does not have to be digital at all actually. Any non-reflective surface will do. I've been talking to some lecturers from polytechnics. Some of them are just using simple pen and paper, and she has a husband recording her teaching it. And I can follow, there's no problem. However, it has to be non-reflective surface, which makes our whiteboard in UTM tu useless lah, sebab because it is very reflective, student cannot see it. Okay, so I believe that we are almost at the end of my presentation, and these are just some of the things that we can think of moving forward with online teaching and learning. So can we automate teaching? For some of us, we teach similar subjects year after year, after 10 years, after 15 years, we still teach the same subject. And this is actually an advantage for us because the videos will allow that knowledge to be delivered even without us there. We are so good at teaching it. We can actually make videos about it and we don't have to teach it again. The video will do the job for us. It's like our little soldier. And we can actually teach without teaching. For example, for the past 60 days, we don't teach anything, right? Because we are in the middle of semester break. However, when I look at the analytics from my channel, there are still few that watch us. We get about 100 views per day. So there are people watching the videos to learn something. And somehow, somewhere around the world, early September, if you notice, there's a spike on it. Now, that's a sign of whether they have tests or they have exams, right? So somebody somewhere is still using the video. So you basically teach even without you teaching. And this can actually free up 60 to 70% of our time because our time mostly is about preparing and delivering lecture. Assessment is just taking a while. It's not going to take very long for us, at least not as long as preparing and delivering the lecture itself. So what do we do with our free time? We can, of course, concentrate on tutorial, exercises, and real-world example. Now, this is only valid if you've been teaching the subject for more than 3 years, I would say. You are already well-versed with the subject. If you just got the subject this semester, then it's kind of kais pagi makan pagi, kais petang makan petang. You are just one lecture ahead of the student. So that's not possible to automate yet. You have to be well-versed with the subject first. And then, because we have saved some time teaching, we can create better tests and better exam questions. And of course, the limitation is still in terms of assessment. Up until now, I don't think we have a very solid, foolproof way of assessing the student online, right? We can assess them face-to-face, but online, it's not very easy. Okay, this is me at my last slide. And I'm picking the words from Larry Page, founder of Google. He says that we still don't understand what internet is. And that is what I add and what it can do to education. We just don't know what's going to happen in the future, what internet can do to education. However, it does not mean that we cannot take advantage of it. We can actually take advantage of it now as educators, despite the limitation. And according to McKinsey, COVID-19 accelerates transition to digital by 10 plus years. And this is in Asia Pacific region, which is where we are. So I suppose the question is, what do we do about it? How can we leverage this and take advantage of it? And with that, I think the presentation is over. And before we go into question and answer, I would like to wish all of you happy teaching for next semester. So that's all from me, and back to you, Dr. Kamarul.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hasbullah. Thank you very much for the good and engaging, I would say, presentation. I believe, I think we have more or less learned a lot of new things here in terms of preparing a good video at least. All right. Of course, during this time around, everybody is more or less doing online teaching in many ways, hopefully this kind of guide will basically help us to provide a much more better lecture video for our online teaching. All right, before I think I allow Q&A to begin, I would like to start one myself, Dr. Hasbullah, if you may. Kita ada 7 P's basically for lecturers, and I believe doing whatever that you are doing with your videos, recording, editing, re-editing, all that, taking a lot of time. So basically, how do you manage that? The video, the lectures, the preparation, the editing, sometimes re-recording, and how do you handle with other 7 P's responsibilities? All right, that's the first one. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kamarul. It's honestly been very tough for me to prepare because it took me about 5 hours to create one videos. And then for one semester, I made about 40 to 50 videos. So that's about 200 hours just to prepare videos. And to be honest, of course, I suffer from other aspects because I need to concentrate on making these videos. However, what keeps me going is that I believe I only have to do this once. Right? It's like an investment. You put in a lot of money up front, and hopefully later you can reap the benefit. And that is when I recover from all the other pieces that I may or may not have neglected this semester. Not totally neglected, but making these videos takes a lot of your time. And I usually record at night, well into the night, 1 a.m. onward. Sometimes I record until subuh because in the morning, in the afternoon, it's just no way. It's just too much noise. Okay, so that's when I can focus. And that has been going on for 2 semesters, and I hope this semester I only need to add some of the videos and do not have to work as much as what I did the previous 2 semesters. Does that answer your question?
All right. Thank you. Great. Now can we have participants putting out question? We have one from the chat box, Dr. Hasbullah from Dr. Roslina. Okey ke kalau kita tulis teks siap-siap, tapi risau juga kalau nampak membaca. Alright. Any comment from there?
Okay, thank you for the question. I believe that's what I did as well. For the topics that I'm not very familiar with, I spend sometimes writing the script and reading it, but I don't read it directly. I look at my notes and then I memorize 1 or 2 lines and then I record. And then I look at my notes again, memorize 1 or 2 lines and I record again. And then I edit out the part where I look at my notes. So that enables you to maintain eye contact with the students. And when you watch the video, it looks like you know what you're talking about, right? For me, I don't sometimes remember all of that, okay? Editing makes you look good. So that's my advice.
All right, thank you. Can we have the next participants putting out a question? Anybody? Yes, we have another one in the chat box, Dr. Hasbullah from Dr. Noriza. How do you prepare the storyboard to include clipping and animation, and etc.? Storyboard include clipping and animation.
Okay, thank you, Kak Cik. My videos, unfortunately, is not at that level yet. Okay, there's no clippings, there's no videos. It's just pictures of me speaking and me writing on the screen. So that's all I did so far. Of course, later, if you want to make the videos more interesting, that's going to take a lot of effort. You're going to need a team to do that. And it's just not my level yet.
All right. Thank you. We have one more there from Dr. Ahmad Humaydi, I think. Can you share what software to learn to make good video?
Can you repeat again, Dr. Kamarul? Unfortunately, I cannot see the chat.
All right. Can you share what software can we use to make a good video? The software for the video editing, I suppose. Yeah.
Of course. Thank you, Dr. Humayzi. There are many softwares available, but you only just need one. You only just need one. In my case, what I'm using is the Adobe Premiere Pro. That is actually quite an overkill. You don't need that software to make good videos, but I find it because I've been using it for quite a while. Now I'm quite familiar with it. Unfortunately, for Adobe Premiere Pro, you're gonna have to pay monthly. I'm not sure. I remember Dr. Fuad was saying about us having a free license from UTM. I'm not sure if that is still available. Me, for myself, I just apply for a little bit of discount through Adobe because I'm a lecturer and they allow that, but it is still quite expensive. Like I told you before, teaching online we need money, right? So that's all. That's my answer. It's just Adobe Premiere Pro. That works well for me. Yep.
All right. Thank you. We're going to the next question. What from Nadia?
Kamarul.
Yes.
Dr. Kamarul.
Yes.
Ni Fuad, saya nak tambah komen sekejap. Saya kena masuk jumpa doktor sekejap. Okey dah, nantilah saya akan tak dalam chat.
Alright.
Okay. Thank you. Carry on, Dr. Kamarul. Ada lagi tak soalan?
Dr. Kamarul tersangkut line dia.
Okay, sekejap. Saya nak baca chat, saya kena stop dulu sharing. Okay. Right now I can see the chat. Okay, so what if the majority of students still insist for online synchronous class to have live interaction? Will you entertain? Okay, in my experience, no student have insist on live class, except when they really don't understand something. And in that case, I will entertain, I will create live session and explain to them what they want to know. If the question is substantial enough, then I will create another video and upload it there. If not, then I reply through WhatsApp, for example, and also I solve their problem using live teaching and learning. But of course, we need live teaching and learning to supplement the video content.
All right.
Yeah, hello, Dr. Kamarul, welcome back.
Yes, thank you. The internet kicked me out, sorry.
Okay, so that's the problem with live, right?
Exactly.
Sometimes you are out. Okay.
Yeah, without even you notice, All right, next we have from Dr. Nurshikin, I think. Is it correct, Dr. Hasbullah?
Yes.
Yes, I believe you opted for synchronous teaching, right? When did you do synchronous teaching or you didn't? How's the feedback from the students?
Okay. Admittedly, the first time I tried synchronous teaching and learning, I wasn't conducting live session, right? However, you cannot address everything through asynchronous teaching and learning. That's what I've learned. So you still need live session to supplement the videos, to answer pressing questions from the student. So I will still do it, usually for 3 hours, 3 credit kan. I would spend like 1 hour to do live session, and the rest they can learn by themselves, doing tutorials, doing exercises, and watching the videos. So that's my practice so far, and at the moment the feedback has been good. They say that is kind of a good balance between live and online, because even live, some of them are not able to join because of the poor internet connection. But those who join says that, oh, they could have easily learned that in the videos, right? So there's no point repeating myself. But some of the questions you still need to address live.
Alright, thank you very much, Dr. Hasbullah. There's a comment kat bawah tu from Dr. Fuad. I think saya guna shortcut instead of Adobe Premiere. Alright, so shortcut is the software and it's a freeware. Alright.
Hello, Assalamualaikum.
Yes, I think I would allow the last question. Boleh
Carry on.
Yes, please.
Hello,
Siapa tadi?
Assalamualaikum. Saya Syahrul daripada Mechanical.
Terima kasih, Prof. Prof.
Nak tanyalah Dr. Hasbullah, kalau andai kata kita dah record mungkin panjang sikit lah, 25 minit. Tiba-tiba student komen pada minit ke 21 tu, kita ada salah sikit. Kita tulis 2/6, 40 katakan. So macam mana kita nak edit 3 saat punya keadaan tu. Jadi ada pengalaman macam itu tak Dr. Hasbullah?
Okay, this is after you publish the video, right? Because student dah komen kan?
Ya, betul-betul. Kita pun tak perasan kan cakap laju ke apa ada. Jadi jawapan tu salah, adalah sikit. Bukanlah kita teoretikal tu salah. Jadi macam mana pendapat Dr. Hasbullah?
Okay, Prof, sebelum tu, if we made a mistake and we notice it during editing, you can actually just, I don't know, write a note somewhere in the videos, make an asterisk saying that this is a mistake, it should be this. So that will be in the video, so that's fine. If you have published the video and haven't noticed the mistake and the student reminded you, first, we will be thankful if students do this, okay? And if what they say is true, then for YouTube videos, you can actually comment down below. You can include a timestamp of where you made the mistake and just pin that comment so that when the student go through the video, they notice it and they know when exactly you made that mistake. And for our current student, we can notify them using other methods like using WhatsApp or that, for example, Facebook group just now. As long as they know, that is fine. Of course, we all make mistakes.
I think our will add something, but in hands right now, we actually lacking. Can you make it a request? What you need, right? So this is will captured by the team, for example, like from registration team members and protocol members, because we need to receive, like you said, on the picture or biography, something like that, because we want to put in our poster, right? So I do hope that you can make it proper request to the team. So let the team give